Alright fellas, today I'm going to try some of this here Evapo-rust. But I've got some old school Channellocks here. I don't know if these are Channellocks or something junk. There's just too much rust on there to figure it out. So they're going in the Evapo-rust. And these actually have a pair of Klein coat handles on them. Well, only one side does. But these are the old Champion d'Ornement, Meadville, Pennsylvania, also known as Channellock, but that's like the family or whatever who originally did Channellock before Channellock became Channellock, or what everybody knows as Channellock. So I gotta get that handle off of there, and then we'll dunk it in there also. And as you can see, those were rusted into place. As you can see, it still does say Channellock on there. 4-inch PVC, loaded full of tools. These right here are like, what are those, 10 inches? Yeah, 10 inches. I cut this right at 12.5 inches. There's the Evapo-rust. Now I have used this bottle a couple of different times. As you can see, there's some stuff floating in it still. And out of that one pour, we still have this much Evapo-rust left, so it doesn't take a full gallon. And this Evapo-rust, yeah, it's expensive, but you can use it over and over again. Right, and I'm gonna let this sit for probably about a day. You don't have to put anything over the top of it. All I did was go rob some cellophane from the kitchen and throw a rubber band around it, so if I knock it over, I might have some time in picking it back up before all that crap goes all over my floor. Alright, so we're back here at the kitchen sink, because I don't have like a slop sink or anything like that in the shop. I left it in here for a little bit longer because it got cold outside, and when it's cold, this stuff really needs to sit for a little while longer. You can do this in your sink because all this stuff, this Evapo-rust, is non-toxic. And this is what it all looks like when it comes out. See that nice black color on there? Now, one of the best things about this stuff is it is reusable. It's starting to get chunky. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but there's some of that crap in there. Getting this black stuff off, it takes a little bit. Lots of scrubbing. Hot water is best. These were the pliers I didn't even know what they were. They might not even be Channellock. One thing you're going to want to do with these after you rinse them off, or brush them off, whatever, is get them dried off. I think I am going to go ahead and wire brush these, just to get some more of the crap off of there. This is Williams. Even Williams copied Channellock. Actually, I don't know anybody that makes a set of Channellocks that didn't copy Channellock. And these are the ones that I've had forever. See how this side is clear? So this was the side that the Klein coats was on. I wonder if I can speed this up. Yeah, last time you saw this, it had the gravy maker on it. If you were in your shop doing this, or outside had a hose long enough, you could blow dry all this with an air compressor. That'd be a great way to get all that water out of there. As long as it has this gray finish on there, this black, it's going to take a little while to rust. Now, it's not a rust protectant by any means. You're going to have to oil it for that kind of stuff. But as long as it has this gray on there, it's going to take a lot longer to rust. It won't flash rust like most stuff will. You know, you take it out of vinegar or whatever, you clean it off, it flash rusts within 30 seconds. This Evapo-rust doesn't do that. Alright, so I think last time you saw these, they were together, cleaning them off. I did file some of that welding splatter away. I haven't got it all yet. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to wire brush these first. I went ahead and took them apart. Sometimes these are a huge pain in the ass to get apart. It took a lot of, you know, blunt instruments, a few precision pieces, and, well, You grind the tops off of them sometimes. But you can see it's kind of boogered up there. I may actually take these and run these through a tap and die. They're not real easy to get out, which I think is why a lot of times guys don't even take them apart. But I'd like to go ahead and take them all apart. Let's get to buffering. Alright, chances are whenever this kicks on, I'm gonna turn the volume down on this video. But all we're doing is just getting in there, getting the teeth scrubbed out, getting that one lock right there scrubbed out. Just kind of going back and forth. I mean, that's all it is. You want gloves and eye protection, because this is going to be spitting needles out at you the whole time. Unless you get one of these Forneys. These Forneys are actually pretty good. Buy one of them ones from Harbor Freight, the Warrior or whatever. You're gonna look like Pinhead. Now in a lot of these small parts, I used some of these vice grips here. So that's just to make sure it doesn't kick out of your hand while you're holding it. But yeah, you should always use some kind of locking pliers on there. And I actually recommend one of these guys. Big old face shield. Stop. So, yeah, she's pretty bright and shiny. Looks good. There's, you know, pitting and that kind of stuff in there, but if you want to see how you get rid of that pitting, I'll leave a little card over here in the corner to Scout Crafter. His channel is excellent about getting rid of all this pitting. Like this little stuff right here. Get rid of all that stuff. I never take it down that far. So, if you want to see what that looks like, and believe me, it looks really good. Go over and check him out. I'm going to go ahead and get back to wire brushing the rest of these, checking them out, seeing what they look like. See those teeth there? His teeth look really good too. Just gonna clean the crap out of them, get them to where they can bite whatever you're grabbing onto. Okay, so this is what they look like after they're done. These right here, the Channellock 417s. They're an adjustable, essentially battery plier, but they do have the rounded jaw there. It's pretty good for little nut busting jobs, you know, kind of like the Big Daddy here. But little nut busting jobs. And then the jaws right here, they work fine for battery. So 417s, that's what they come out looking like. They're awful shiny. They have the nice embellishment here on the side. Bite into your hand, give you a little bit more grip. Yeah, I think they come out looking good. There is pitting on the handle here, and you know, all the rust is gone. I took some good old Marvel Mister Oil and wiped all these down. Let it soak in there for a little bit. Wiped them all clean dry. This is how I'm going to keep them. I mean, they're going to get used. I like to oil tools. Keep some kind of rust prevention on there. So, no big deal. I do want to look into some of that wax paste and see how that works, because we're pretty humid here in Kansas. We're also pretty dry. It depends on the season. I think humidity is worse than dry, so that's what we'll protect them for. But yeah, function great. I did take the peen out And I did put a new peen in there so that this nut will not move. And you'll have to address that later on if I have to take these apart and clean them again. But this is going to last 20-30 years before they're going to need to be cleaned up again. These came out pretty good. They're not excellent by any means. I did file some of that splatter off of these. These were my oldest pair that I had in my possession anyway. And there's this side right here that had the Klein coat on it. There's not near as much pitting as what's on the top that wasn't protected by any kind of covering. So, you know, the old Channellock blue dip, that really does work. Any kind of handle you put on there is going to be better than just leaving them raw as far as protection goes. I like leaving them raw. I like that metal feel in my hand. So all these are going to be left raw. I'm not going to coat any of them. Here's this set. This was a newer pair of nut busters. These are all 410s. Well, these two are 410s. But it actually was in really good shape. There's hardly any pitting on this pair at all. Matter of fact, I don't think these got used very much. It wouldn't take a whole lot to, you know, get that finish down to where it was gleaming in showroom quality. But again, I'm going to use these. This pair is going to go down back to the big box. This pair is going to stay here, and actually this pair is going down to the big box too. I might actually throw this pair in the truck. We'll just have to wait and see. Now this pair here is the Williams, the ones I couldn't tell what they were. You can see the Williams is not in there very good at all. It's a very light stamping. I mean, it's there, you can see it. These are 1520A, that's the model number. And I'm gonna say, based on this forging mark right here, that every one of these Channellocks have, even the new guys have forging marks there. I'm going to assume that these were made by Channellock for Williams. Now, I don't know how old these are. I'm guessing they're pretty old. But they work excellent, you know, just like a pair of Channellocks should. The teeth on these things are excellent. Maybe you can see that or not, but those teeth are excellent shape. Again, these probably just left in somebody's toolbox and just sit to rust. Now they're going to go back to work. Some way, shape, or form. They're getting worked on. But yeah, here at the end, I'll leave some before and after pictures. And you can see how they were fairly rusty. Some of them worse than others. And some of them just laying around, not getting used. The first one is going to be a still shot I snagged from the video showing you just how rusty they were. I didn't do a good job of taking a picture of the tools before I started the video and started the derusting process and then the wire brushing and the light polishing. So that was the before picture. Here is what the wrenches look like after the Evaporust. They have this gray black coating. That coating does serve a purpose. It actually does protect these tools for a period of time. It's not a long-term protection at all, but as long as that black coating is on there, I'm guessing you could go at least maybe a month or two without doing anything to them before they would start to rust again. So when I took them out of the Evaporust, cleaned them in the sink, that gray was still on there. You have to kind of wire wheel or buffer that off. It took about a week, because as soon as I got done with that I had to do something else. So I left them sitting on the bench in a tray, and it was about a week that I left them. Scrubbed the black stuff off, no rust on them whatsoever. I let them set again for a couple more days before I actually oiled them to see if once you buff that off, if they go ahead and flash rust. They did not flash rust whatsoever. So the Evapo-rust protects against flash rusting whenever you're restoring one of these tools, or any part for that matter. Now, this Evaporust stuff here, this is excellent as far as rust removal. Tools, I haven't done anything else with it, just tools. But I'm guessing, you know, you have some car parts, kind of rusty, but you know the metal's good underneath. Soak them in this. They make a gel that you can brush on. That'd be handy in certain circumstances. As far as cleaning up old tools and getting them back into service, this Evaporust stuff works great. I tried the Marble Mist Oil in here just to kind of see what kind of protection it's going to give me. I do plan on getting some of that wax paste though, and really going through some of these tools, especially some of the older ones, putting that paste on there, keeping them alive for, you know, at least another generation or two, get them back into service. There is nothing wrong with old tools. Old tools work. As always, like, comment, share, subscribe. Love, hate, hardknocksforge@gmail.com. Don't send me any paintings because they never fit.